What day of the week?
It is what it is. I just hope they pick up my garbage.
They got mine yesterday, so.
Was it on regular?
Yeah. Tuesday's our day, and I was the same way. I was like, sometimes it's.
Although my recollection was when I've looked it up before about the only time that they mess with is Thanksgiving.
One of our video guys, Kyle, who's just in here.
Yeah.
He's a Northeastern kid, and he was ready to watch the Celtics game Monday night. He was like, "I went to the liquor store. It was closed. Why?"
Would that fall into the category of blue law?
I think keep Christmas Day.
Excellent. Thank you. So will David be joining us today, or does he have many other conflicts?
When he was explaining the Bristol conflict to me, I'm pretty sure he said he had beach conflicts this week. But I really kind of was not paying all that much attention.
Love it.
It's amazing. I found myself not all that interested in his personal stuff.
He's never quite understood that.
Let me just put this up and we call let's see, does he want to?
We had those typically in here. We had those up typically for pressers in here.
We have lights up, yes.
Okay.
It's a different set of lights, but we have lights up.
Okay. I was like, I don't recall the big umbrella or whatever.
Let's see, super stick. Is that where that goes? I don't know. Sweet. Do you wanna just check into the mic real quick?
Check one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I'm getting levels, but I can't hear the camera.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey there. So just two things. First off, batteries. Do you want just the one light or do you want both lights? Okay. Sweet. It's all set up. And the second thing would just be, I'm seeing levels perfectly fine. I just can't hear them in the camera. Is there a, oh, there's a deal on the side of the mixer. I'll try to plug into that. Okay, okay.
It's a little warm in here.
It has a power strip. Well, it does now. Chris just carries one in. I got you. Where is it? Oh, they pulled this one over here, so now you're. All right. Oh, you're okay. Can you reach it? Can you just sit it up on the back of the table so we can actually?
No, it's so difficult to beat me. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'll go full David Newton on you next time. You guys know what's here. You guys can't even. Oh, you don't electricity. I mean, I was late because my refrigerator broke and I had to get it repaired. Ain't an electrician. I got one because my house is on fire. Back when my ex-wife destroyed my credit, I had to. Yeah, in a weird way, for sure. So janky is not here. Okay. Yeah. Morgan's got you on the streaming.
Kyle, you good?
Let me bring my computer in here and see if I did something. Well, you might not know that I get them out the PC.
You know the bullshit.
Let me walk next door.
Did you bring your little thing?
Oh, I forgot.
That's okay. I might have your thing.
Ran on my car too. Hey Kyle, I'm gonna leave this second battery here because Crossers is out here. We need to switch it.
Sweet. Yep, absolutely.
Oh, you already have the battery there. But it's for. So we need to issue here. So that here. Then how we do our mixer. So you see that light in front? Okay, that's basically a question mark. Normally not.
All right, and you get on levels?
Yep. Like I had.
One setting on that.
Stupid camera. So basically. So keep your questions.
Okay. Cool. Well, that'll
said it, they knew I was
It's the new Star Wars series.
easily, it's no surprise that they got, it's the most viewed thing on Disney Plus. I think the new episode's gonna come out today too. Yeah,
New episode? Have you seen it?
not yet.
I didn't get it in this morning before I came to work. That's on the
Is that
agenda.
even enjoyable?
What?
Waking up like early in the morning to like, you can't relax, you sit back.
You gotta avoid the spoilers on that.
And I have only seen the first two episodes 3 times.
You're one of the reasons why it's the most viewed thing on Disney Plus right now.
I do my part.
Are, I'm down here now. Okay. Do you have access to browsing?
Yesterday, I think it
Alright,
was,
season
that Mandalorian season 4 is already in the works right now, when 3 is gonna come out.
And for a second it went live, then it stopped, and I was like,
But then the other thing is now that I'm playing games, you know, they announced the newest Jedi Fallen Order, which is like a time skip 5 years after Fallen Order. Yeah, they announced the newest Fallen Order game. It's like a, oh, it's great. Fallen Order, the newest one they announced is apparently like a 5-year time skip. It's good. It looks good. I enjoyed that. That was the first Souls game I've loved. It's not because I love Star Wars, but it was so balanced to me. Yeah. Story, everything about it was good. It didn't surprise me it did so well.
It looks good, yeah.
So,
Okay, I've stopped those two Twitter, Facebook stream.
I want to get out of it. So,
Can you pull back up Facebook?
I don't either. It's so irritating.
Yeah.
Like if Star Wars Skywalker Saga's on sale on PlayStation right now. So. I need to play right now. Or I need to sit right now. I'm sitting by the way.
So I can make a new key. I'd rather not mess with this one, like, I'd rather just do a new key, let's do it. Booster, the 1 o'clock.
There's nothing more than between
I'm
Stone
not,
and
if we're gonna do
Okay,
it,
we're gonna do it now.
I think, yeah, all I do is come in here and I say, what?
You know, let's put on
It's in like
the
this key, right?
Um,
Cause all you need is
watching bands right home from the bus stop.
Tim Brewster.
I'm so actually, I got out the bus stop, I'm like, I didn't do nothing, I just walked in and shit, right. It wasn't there when I graduated for graduation, so I had to put on a bus like, I can't even run shit. I get an email saying I was ready, and Friday until 8 August comes at 5, I got off the bus stop, and off the bus at 4:46, and I legged it to my campus. Got there at like 4:50, I'm like, I ain't missing so much. I walk in sweating balls, this is gay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, my brother, so, at his graduation, they didn't get, they just got like an ET2. They did not get the actual, that was mailed to me later.
I had the but then we turn it in, but then they took it from us, and then we did it in when they actually
still that case because of like the former GM probably said some stuff about how it's inappropriate, like assistant players.
And that guy that started out really young, is that who you're talking about?
Rich Paul and all that stuff.
Rich Paul, yeah.
So I give them all credit for it. They're totally great business people. But like, I like my team. I'd rather not have to like the whole thing of I'm glad it didn't work out.
You need to
It's
like set
not
it
in-
down into a filter.
This is
Yeah.
so that I can drink the proper amount of water per day, especially with it being really hot outside. I don't want to dehydrate, pass out, and be on some ice fluid.
I hear you.
How's everybody doing today? Great to have you here. We got a nice hot day out there. Got a lot of good work in today. Get some red zone in, get some 2-minute. Mix in some third down, so the guys are fired up. What questions do you have for me?
Scott Fitter had said publicly that you were a big reason why Matt Corral, you all drafted him. What in particular did you like about him in the pre-draft process, or what you may have seen before?
Yeah, Matt, the more we got to know him, the more we liked him. He liked his film, obviously. He was productive, right? Productive player, threw for, a bunch of yards. He ran for a bunch of yards. So, physical guy, despite being, not maybe the biggest guy in the draft. But, he willed Ole Miss to a bunch of wins. They won 10 games, I believe. And, in a place that doesn't usually win 10 games a year, his winning percentage was just a little bit under what Eli's was there in his starts. I really liked his skill set as far as the way he gets the ball out of his hand quickly. You can see it translating into this league possibly as we move forward. But he's got a lot of work to do. We liked him on draft day. Draft's over, so now we're working right now, getting them ready to go with what we're doing.
What in particular are the biggest things you want to see him improve as we get closer to training?
Yeah, this it's a different game up here. That's not taking anything away from college football. I think they did a great job with him. He had good footwork training there. The offense was vast. You could see some pro concepts mixed in there along with some college stuff and a lot of spread stuff. I think it was a really good offense, so it got him ready. He knows where he needs to go with the ball when it's snapped. But the biggest thing really when you get these guys up here, it's from the time the whistle blows till the ball's snapped on the next play is where he needs to spend his most time right now. Just handling that part of the game. Communication's a big part of it. A lot of guys, they come in and they're fired up. They're with their teammates when they get on the field, and then all of a sudden they look to the sideline, someone signals the play, they clap their hands, and they get the ball in their hands. And in this league, it's a little bit different with the microphones and with the the headsets. So we just need to work on that communication. And really, it's like he's trying to learn a different language, and he hasn't spoke before. That's really what it is, because he hadn't had to communicate that way in the past. So now he's learning the way we do things. We have a lot in the offense, and there's verbal and visual cues that he has to know and has to learn. And it's just going to take some time.
Ferris Marshall, the guy that kind of struggled to get in the mix last year. What did you see from his tape, and then what have you seen so far this year that could maybe help him get more involved in the offense?
Yeah, there was, going through his tape last year, there was some flashes of good football, and we've certainly seen that so far. He's a young guy. He seems to have a chip on his shoulder. He's out there. He's, learning what we're trying to get done from an offensive perspective. And I see a guy that can play inside. He can play outside. And, I like what I see. I like the look in his eye.
And what's for Shark Higgins? What does he bring to the table? Just does it help maybe push Terrace to be that number 3 guy?
Yeah, right now we're not looking really at roles for guys. It's a lot of really TLC, right? Teaching, learning, and communication going on. So we're just trying to learn about each other a little bit, learn the offense, put it in, kind of see what guys do well and how they fit together. But they'll all work together in that room. They'll all eventually push each other when it comes that time to fight for a job. But right now it's just, teaching, learning, and communication.
That all things being equal, are you a guy that would rather have a rookie quarterback sit for a year? And what would sort of show you when a guy's ready to get in there?
Yeah, I think, to me, every guy's different and every team's different. And I think you take it on a case-by-case basis. So right now we'll just let things play out. We'll go out there, teach, we'll learn, we'll communicate, and, we'll see how the chips fall.
What about the second part of that question, though? What are you kind of looking for to say, okay, I think he's close here, he's ready?
Yeah, I think, obviously you got to get into training camp. You got to start competing. Right now it's more, that's really not a big thought process the way the CBA's set up, right? So Right now is more, about learning, and then training camp you start to compete for roles, and that's kind of when it starts. So it's really early right now to even say what he needs to do, but we need to get to training camp first, and obviously preseason will play a part of it, but it's not going to be easy for him. It's going to be a challenge, and I'm not here to make it easy for him. I'm here to make it hard on him. So when he does have a chance to play and get into games, he's ready to go.
To piggyback on what Joe said, what are some of the areas specifically that you would like to see Sam Darnold improve in to give you confidence going into the season with him as your starter?
Yeah, I think Sam just needs to do what he's doing right now, and that's attack every day. The way he's attacking every day, he's putting a lot of time in preparation-wise. We're asking him to do, a lot of different things maybe than what he's done in the past, and that's just take it in stride. Right now, don't be afraid to try new things. Practice deliberately, practice deeply, and then when we get to game time, when it's time to play games, we'll figure out what's the best direction to go for our offense and for Sam. But right now, just keep an open mind. Keep working on the little things, the details. A lot of the plays, a lot of the concepts you can find everywhere in the league. But we may ask you to look at them a little bit differently here based on a variety of different things. And right now we need to keep on keeping on and attack every day and try to get a little bit better each and every day, whether it's with the feet, whether it's moving through progressions and, those types of things, just fundamentals that every quarterback works on. It's just at this point in time, everything's kind of new for him on what we're asking him to do. But he's hitting it head on.
I know Matt Corral isn't quite ready to be a day one starter. I know you Matt Rule, and you accidentally, of course, but Matt Rule said that if the season were to start today, Sam Darnold would be the starter. But do you all feel comfortable right now, or do you all feel like you still have to get to a certain point with Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I mean, nobody should be comfortable on offense right now. We're putting in a new offense. We're asking a lot of these guys. We're challenging them each and every day, players and coaches. So right now we just need to go out. We need to learn, and we need to push. In my mind, nobody's out there ready to fight for a job, fight for a role. If we were to go out there to play, we'd play with Sam, and I'd be fired up and ready to go play with him.
In terms of kind of the order of operations of how you teach this thing, do they see everything once, or all the first down, then all the third down, all the red zone, that kind of thing? Just how do you install a new offense, and how do you throw it out?
Yeah, we break it down a few different ways. That's a good question. We'll go through. We'll teach the run action, the movement game, and the play action stuff with the runs. So we'll do an outside zone day. We'll do an inside zone day. We'll do a gap day, and we'll do a turn day, and we'll marry them up. The passes up with the runs, and then we'll kind of repeat that. So that's about 8 days right there in itself. And then we have a couple days. We'll split up the red area. We'll split up third down and 2 minute, and we'll split those up a couple different ways. So we have ballpark, maybe 12 days of installation, here or there. So we like to go out, do a little bit of teaching every day, do some reviewing as we go, and then we just kind of keep on loading their plate, and see if we can keep building on things we install. For example, we'll install 2x2 all go one day, and then the next day we'll install another version of it, and then just keep tweaking it and adding to it as we go throughout the installs, and see what guys look good doing, see what the quarterback likes, see what he can handle, because it's, communication in this thing's a two-way street. It's all, not just me standing up there beating my fist on a table and those kinds of things. I want to get feedback from the players, and I want to see them do a variety of things, see them do things that they maybe haven't done on tape in the past, and see how that looks, see their comfort level doing it, see if we can push them to do something, add a little extra tool in their toolbox that we can carry forward. So there's a lot we're looking at right now, but the biggest thing I don't want to do is rush to judgment over what our offense is going to look like. The offense that we're going to put out there is going to look far different probably than any offense that you've seen me involved with in the past. That's just because our players are different. That doesn't mean we have a bunch of new plays that we didn't have in the past. We're just going to try to do our best job to tailor it to the players we have.
But by the end of OTAs, you will have shown them everything once, basically, by the end of OTAs?
Yeah, they got the meat and potatoes in phase 1. They got all the installs in phase 2, and now we're working through it again. And by the time training camp's over, we'll be probably 3.5 times through it.
How would you describe how your approach to this offense will be different?
It's just going to be comprehensive. I like plays. I like to have a lot of goodies in there. I like to have a lot of toys. But it's based on the players and how they look. That we're going to go out there. We're going to practice. What runs do we want to hang our hat on? What are going to be our change-up runs? Again, I really don't care what the plays are. I just care about how they fit together. Good football fits together like nuts and bolts. And it's got to fit together tight. The fundamentals got to be tight. The system's loose. The system we can run it a variety of different ways at a variety of different tempos. So to me, it's about the players and what the players can do and figuring out, which is the hard part, what they do best all together collectively.
How's this for you, Ben? I mean, back kind of calling plays, not yet, but installing offense. And when you were with the Cowboys, I mean, did you kind of ever, as you were watching tape, say, this is probably what I would have done in this series or against this defense? I mean, were you sort of running through any of those scenarios?
Yeah, this is a pretty good gig. It beats working. I love what I'm doing right now. Work with a great locker room of players, coaches. That was part of my job last year with Dallas was to go through work on both sides of the ball. So look at it for Dan Quinn, and if I was offense, this is how I would attack you if I had their personnel. And same thing for Kellen. I'd come out with a novel of plays I liked each week based on the defense we were seeing. I probably wore him out a little bit, but Kellen's a great guy, and I enjoyed our relationship there. And so I've always I love this part of the game. I love diving into the football and diving into the fundamentals, and just working with players and teaching and seeing how they can improve. Not only technically but tactically.
Was there a part of the pre-draft process that kind of stood out to you about Ickey, whether it was a tape or just meeting him or just anything as you got to know him?
Yeah, I think there was a play where I was just watching film and I was back home and I was watching it with my son, and just they pitched the ball to the edge and just saw him get out of his stance, and the foot speed was really impressive to see. Something you don't see a lot of, and then you get a chance to meet him, and you feel really good about the person. And obviously he has a long way to go, and he has a lot to learn. And he's still a young guy. They're still trying to figure out, if it's pumped or stuffed at this point. But you certainly like his skill set, and you certainly like the person, and you look forward to playing with him.
The short shelf life on running backs. Now, how do you balance utilizing somebody like Christian McCaffrey without overusing them?
Yeah, that's something that, Coach and I will have conversations on moving forward. But right now it's, Christian's still out there. He's trying to learn the offense. It's new. There's a lot of different things and protections, for him. There's a lot of different actions in there. The runs are a little bit different maybe than he's used to running them. So right now we're just diving in, trying to learn this thing, teach and learn it together, making sure we're getting the communication. And, we'll worry about that when it comes time to play games.
In general, is there a way to do it? You saw a lot of injuries around the league last year to running backs. Is there a way to get the most out of running backs and still, preserve their health? Or is it just
there's always a way to manage a load, but these guys play football for a living, right? Injuries are a part of the game, but there's always a way to manage reps and manage a load that way. Sure.
The last couple of years, the Panthers really haven't had much production out of the tight end room, whether it be Thomas or Trimble, in terms of the passing game. So what do you need to do to get them more involved? And I know they tried to do some different stuff with Tommy Trimble. So is he kind of like a versatile piece that you guys can just move around and toy with?
Yeah, in a previous life, I used to coach the tight ends, man. So I know this. We have a really good room. I like those guys. From top to bottom, I think it's one of the strengths we have on offense. They're guys who they can block. They can play a little bit of the fullback position. You can put them in space, so the skill set's really good. You have a lot of guys in a room that can do more than one thing, which I think is a key to that position. You just can't be, a guy that can just be an inline blocker or a guy that can just be a displaced player. I think all those guys have multiple things that they can do to help you, and they have some value on special teams, which will go a long way for them and for us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.
We'll get you guys out of here.